Okay, the countdown is really on, isn't it? The 2026 World Cup heading to North America.
It really is. And Mexico,
Wow.
making history.
Exactly. Becoming the first country ever to host 3 times. That's massive.
It absolutely is a huge statement.
So let's really dive into that today. What does this actually mean, beyond the games themselves for anyone thinking of going or even just curious?
Absolutely. And the material we've looked at, it really paints a picture of Mexico leveraging all that experience. It's not just about football, it's about the whole visitor experience.
Right. So that's our mission for this deep dive, unpacking Mexico as a host nation for 2026. We've got some great stuff here covering everything from the stadiums, where to stay, getting around.
And all the amazing cultural things you can do when there isn't a match on.
Precisely. Think of this as like your shortcut to figuring out what makes the Mexico part of this World Cup potentially amazing. Whether you're a huge soccer nut or just want an incredible trip.
And the sources really hit on that combination, don't they? This deep, passionate soccer culture mixed with really modern, welcoming tourism.
Yeah, it's not just hosting, it's showcasing.
Exactly. Showcasing the culture.
And like you said, they've got the experience. This isn't their first time organizing something this huge.
Not at all. 1970, 1986 iconic World Cups.
Yeah.
And they also did the U17 World Cup in 2011.
So they know the drill. What do the sources say about how that past experience is shaping things for 2026?
Well, it's a massive plus, basically. It shows they can handle the sheer scale of it, all the logistics, the security, keeping fans happy. It's a proven system.
Right, not starting from scratch.
Not at all. And that football passion we mentioned, the sources stress that creates an atmosphere you just won't find everywhere. It's electric, apparently, way beyond just the 90 minutes.
I can imagine. And they're not just dusting off the old plans, are they? There's talk of stadium upgrades.
Oh, yeah, significant upgrades. Boosting capacity, improving facilities, making things state-of-the-art for 2026.
Okay, interesting. Now let's talk logistics. Getting around. One thing that jumps out is the host cities, Mexico City, Guadalajara, Monterrey. They form a kind of triangle, right? Geographically quite neat.
That's a really key point from the analysis, yeah. It's relatively compact, which is a big advantage for fans.
How easy is it to travel between them? What do the sources say?
Pretty manageable, actually.
Yeah.
Mexico City to Guadalajara, you're looking at about a 6.5-hour drive.
Okay.
Guadalajara to Monterrey, maybe 7 hours driving.
Right.
But then Monterrey back down to Mexico City, that's just a quick flight, maybe 2 hours in the air.
So it's doable to catch games in different cities without spending days traveling.
Exactly. That's the idea I highlighted. It makes seeing multiple matches and experiencing different parts of Mexico much more feasible, especially for international visitors who might be tight on time. Less travel hassle, more time enjoying things.
Makes sense. Okay, let's zoom in on those stadiums, starting with the big one, Estadio Azteca in Mexico City. I mean, that place is legendary.
Absolutely iconic. Hosted 2 World Cup finals, Pele, Maradona. History was made there.
The Colossus of Santa Ursula, they call it.
Yeah.
Huge capacity, over 87,000. What are they doing to get this historic venue ready for 2026? Any specifics on the upgrades?
Yeah, the sources mentioned some cool things. They're expanding the VIP lounges, apparently with great city views. They're putting in solar-powered lighting, which is a nice touch for sustainability.
Uh-huh.
And also focusing on better features for disabled fans. So it's about respecting the history, but also, modernizing.
Sounds like a good balance. And there's a tip in the material, too. Get there early.
Yeah, like 3 hours early. There's a soccer museum, apparently, so you can really soak it all in before kickoff.
Nice. Okay, let's head north. Monterrey. Estadio BBVA. This one's newer, right?
Much more modern, yeah. Around 53,500 seats. It's got all the bells and whistles.
Like what?
Retractable roof, really steep, stands for good views, stadium-wide 5G. You can even order food and drinks from an app. Climate-controlled concourses, too.
Wow. Okay, so really focused on the fan experience there.
Totally. Comfort and tech. And the sources make a big deal about the setting, too.
Oh, yeah.
The views of the Sierra Madre Oriental Mountains. There's even a special terrace, the Pabellón de la Montaña, specifically for checking out the Cerro de la Silla peak at sunset. Adds a unique visual element.
That sounds stunning. Forget the game, just look at the mountains.
Well, maybe during halftime.
Okay, third city, Guadalajara. Estadio Akron. What's the story there?
Another impressive bit of architecture. Just under 50,000 seats. It's got this huge, 3,500-ton floating roof. Pretty dramatic.
Wow. And it's home to Chivas fans. I hear they're passionate.
Extremely. Famous for their grito de guerra, their sort of battle cry tradition. The atmosphere there is meant to be intense.
So a different vibe again. Any practical tips for Akron?
Yeah, the main one highlighted is parking. Apparently it's limited, so the advice is definitely use the official shuttle buses running from downtown Guadalajara. Plan ahead for that.
Good advice. Okay, stadium's covered. What about finding a place to crash? Accommodation options. The sources break this down by city, right?
They do. A real mix. In Mexico City, near the Azteca, you've got luxury like the St. Regis Butler Service, the Works,
Fancy.
but also solid mid-range places like the NH Collection Centro Historico, good metro links, soundproofed rooms, practical stuff.
So options for different budgets, even close to the stadium?
Exactly. It shows they're thinking about the different types of fans coming in. Proximity and transport links are key.
Makes sense. What about Monterrey, near Estadio BBVA?
Similar range, there's the Safi Royal Luxury Metropolitan, apparently. They do things like free jersey pressing and FIFA-themed cocktails, really getting into the spirit.
Ah, nice touch.
And then more budget-friendly, the Holiday Inn Monterrey Obispado, which offers shuttle services to the games. Again, focusing on convenience.
So the hotels are even trying to make the fan experience better.
Seems like it, yeah. Tapping into that World Cup excitement.
And Guadalajara, near Estadio Akron.
Interesting options there, too. The Hotel Rio Plaza Guadalajara has something called a Golazo package.
Golazo, like
Yeah.
goal.
Yeah. It includes match tickets and even mariachi performances. So really blending the football with local culture.
That sounds fun.
And for families, maybe on a tighter budget, the City Express Plus Guadalajara Expo has bunk bedrooms and even a 24-hour cafe with churro stations.
Churro stations. Okay, sold. This variety really shows they're trying to cater to everyone, doesn't it?
It really does. Families, luxury travelers, budget fans, trying to offer a complete experience. And the tip is consistent. Book early, like by early 2025, and look for that FIFA-preferred partner logo for peace of mind.
Right. Crucial planning advice. Okay, so when you're not watching football, what else is there? The cultural side must be huge.
Oh, absolutely massive. The sources highlight tons of stuff within easy reach of the host cities.
Like what? Give us some examples.
In Mexico City, you've got the Zocalo, that huge main square, and the Templo Mayor ruins right there, ancient Aztec history, plus Chapultepec Castle and its massive park.
Classic Mexico City spots.
Exactly. Then Monterrey has Fundadora Park. It's this old foundry turned into a cool park space, and the Marco Museum for Mexican Art. And you can get out to the Cola de Caballo waterfall for some nature.
Nice mix. And Guadalajara.
Famous for the Hospicio Cabañas murals by Orozco. Really powerful stuff. And of course,
Tequila.
tequila. Day trips out to the agave fields and distilleries. A must-do if you're there, according to the material.
So it's easy to blend the football trip with some serious cultural exploration.
Definitely. History, art, nature, food. Speaking of food.
Yes, Mexican food. Can't talk about Mexico without talking food. What do the sources recommend for fans?
Big emphasis on street food. You got to try the tacos at Pastor. They even mention a specific spot near the stadium in Monterrey. And churros con chocolate near the Azteca in Mexico City.
My mouth is watering already.
Right. Even the stadiums apparently have signature snacks. Chorizo nachos at Azteca. Goat cheese quesadillas at BBVA. Birria beef fries at Akron.
Okay, stadium food, that actually sounds amazing.
It does. And beyond street food and stadium snacks, there are top-notch restaurants near the venues, too, like Pujol in Mexico City, Cole Cocina de Origin in Guadalajara, La Nacional in Monterrey. Lots of English-friendly places mentioned.
Good to know. All right, practicalities again. Getting around these cities, is it complicated?
Doesn't sound like it. Mexico City has its metro system super cheap and connects most places. Just maybe avoid rush hour.
Standard big city advice.
Pretty much. Ride-sharing like Uber and Didi is common, too. The sources give safety tips, like checking license plates and sharing your trip details.
Smart. And for match days specifically.
FIFA is organizing dedicated shuttle buses, supposedly running every 15 minutes on game days, which should make getting to the stadiums easier. Keep an eye on official World Cup info for updates on that.
Okay. And between the cities, we mentioned driving and flying. Any other options?
Yeah, premium buses are a popular choice. Comfortable, relatively affordable, takes maybe 4 or 6 hours between cities.
Good alternative. And car rentals.
Also an option, around $35 a day plus extras. Just depends on your comfort level with driving there. The main advice is to book buses early and use authorized transport, especially late at night.
Sensible. Now, the big question for many. Budget. Can you actually do a World Cup trip to Mexico without needing a second mortgage?
The sources suggest yes, it's definitely possible to do it affordably.
How?
Well, first, ticket packages. There are different tiers, from basic passes to team bundles. Booking early through FIFA can apparently save you up to 30%. Some hotels might offer deals with tickets, too.
Okay, so plan ahead for tickets. What about day-to-day costs, like food?
That's where embracing the local scene helps. Street food is incredibly cheap tacos for $1 or $2. You can get full lunch deals, comida corrida, for maybe $5 to $8.
Way cheaper than stadium food, I bet.
Oh, yeah. The sources estimate you could save like 50% on food by eating locally and maybe bringing your own snacks instead of buying everything inside the stadium.
Smart budgeting. Any tips for free things to do?
Loads. Free walking tours in Mexico City are mentioned. Some museums, like the Instituto Cultural Cabañas in Guadalajara, have free entry on Sundays. Monterrey has live folkloric dance in the Macro Plaza. You just need to check local tourism sites.
Great. So it's definitely doable on a budget with a bit of planning.
Seems so.
Finally, safety. Always a consideration for international travel. What advice do the sources offer?
Pretty standard, sensible stuff. Be aware of your surroundings. Know which areas might be less safe, especially at night. Keep your valuables secure. Maybe use an anti-theft bag. Don't flash cash.
Digital safety, too.
Yeah, good point. Using VPNs on public Wi-Fi. Being careful about sharing ticket info online. Using two-factor authentication where possible.
And emergencies.
Know the local emergency number 911 in Mexico now, same as the U.S. Have embassy contacts handy. Hotels can often help with translation if needed. Just basic preparedness.
Okay, good practical advice. So wrapping this all up, Mexico for 2026, it sounds like much more than just football matches.
Absolutely. It's this incredible blend. The passion of the games, the deep history, the vibrant modern culture, amazing food, and from what the sources say, pretty well-organized infrastructure to handle it all.
Yeah, the ease of travel between those cities, the range of places to stay, it seems quite accessible.
That's the picture painted, yes.
Yeah.
A really compelling package for fans and tourists alike.
So here's something to think about as we finish.
Huh.
Start picturing that trip. Imagine the roar in the Azteca, or tasting proper street tacos, or maybe exploring ancient ruins on a day off from the games. How would you weave together the football excitement with everything else Mexico offers? What kind of adventure would you build beyond just the match schedule?
That's the real opportunity, isn't it? Crafting a unique experience.
Exactly. Definitely something to mull over. And of course, keep an eye on the official FIFA channels for all the concrete details on tickets, schedules, and all that as we get closer.